Welcome back to my YouTube. I have not been posting that much on here because I have been trying to prioritize my time, and some of my videos do so good and some do so bad. So I've been putting a lot more stuff on Instagram TV, so check that out in the box below if you want to see all of the videos that I've been putting out, because I'm still putting them out. I'm just being more selective about where I put them. But the last few weeks have been kind of crazy. I've been traveling a lot. I missed my flight last night in New Jersey, so I'm back in Connecticut at my parents' house, and I'm gonna go back to LA tomorrow. Things have been going really well. Fearless Every Day, my show on Radio Disney, has been around for like almost 2.5 months, I think, right now, which is kind of insane. And I've been putting so much effort into it, and I'm really loving the feedback that I've been getting, so thank you to everybody. And I've also announced that I'm gonna be hosting the first ever Be Fearless Summit. That's gonna be in partnership with LeBeau at Drexel University, which is the business school at Drexel. And it's gonna be a huge summit, March 15th, 2019, right in Philadelphia. I'm super excited about this. I've had this idea for such a long time, and the fact that it's finally coming to fruition is awesome. I will put a link below about where you can submit to speak or be involved. I'm getting a ton of submissions. What is gonna be happening is there's gonna be a keynote at the beginning, a keynote at the end, and then throughout the day, there's gonna be breakout sessions in different rooms, 2 for each hour, and it's gonna run from 10 to about 4 p.m. So there'll be 6 breakout sessions. So I'm loving your submissions, and I unfortunately cannot accept everybody to speak, but I invite everybody to be a part and come. And those of you who are selected to speak, I'm excited. And if you aren't selected for this one, I'm going to try and be putting on these conferences with other colleges. So there's tons of opportunities there. So don't get frustrated. It just may not be the right time. It just might be I have somebody too similar to you, XYZ. But anywho, if you also follow me on social media, you know that I've been speaking at a lot of different colleges. Last night I just wrapped up my last talk of 2018. I think I'm pretty tired from these talks, but I really like them. I spoke at no, I didn't speak at Drexel. I met with Drexel, then I went and spoke at Rutgers. The night before that I spoke at UConn. A few weeks ago I spoke like a few other ones. I spoke at Menlo University in San Francisco, and I've been doing this kind of impromptu college tour, which is really neat, and I've been getting so much knowledge and insightful information from all of the students who I've been meeting, and it's been incredible. And I love meeting everyone, and I leave feeling so empowered and learning just as much as I hope you learn leaving. But there's always a kind of similar pattern of questions that I get after every talk, because I always make sure to leave time for a Q&A. So I've been getting a lot of the same questions, so I figured I would come on here and just answer them for those of you who might be emailing me or DMing me similar questions too. So the first question that I always get is how I quote unquote became so confident and got over rejection. The rejection thing for me, which is what I stay consistent through all of my talks and say, is that it's really just trial and error. Like, I've had so many situations that I've dealt with rejection, and as annoying as it is, as frustrating as it is, since I've been doing this really since I was 12, I'm now 21. So the rejection gets easier, but it doesn't get less frustrating. It continues to be frustrating, but you really just get used to it. So I would say switch your mindset to, instead of getting so frustrated, just think of it as a change in a different direction. There's a story I tell throughout all of my talks. I had pitched a TV show to somebody in LA about 1.5 years ago, and I flew out there with Gabe, my best friend, and I went and I met with this guy, big entertainment company. And if you scroll through my YouTube videos, you'll see that I posted a video of me crying. I was hysterically crying because I went into this production meeting thinking that really they were like gonna be interested in this show. And the guy literally sat there and was like, "You're the fattest, stupidest, ugliest person I've ever met. Like, basically get the F out of this room." And it was terrible, and I thought my career was over. I literally called my mom and was like, I can't do it. It was probably the worst thing that's happened in my career in terms of rejection. It was just painful. And you see it in this video, and he forced me, he was like, "I'm just gonna film you crying so you can look back on it." Fast forward December of 2018, what building do you think is right across the street from that producer who so strongly rejected me? Disney. So if that doesn't show you that everything happens for a reason, then I don't know what will. use that as your piece of wisdom advice when it comes to rejection, that everything happens for a reason. I get asked if I like living in LA a lot. To be honest, I don't love LA. I had a really tough time for the first year making friends. I moved out there and I didn't know anyone. Somebody asked me yesterday how I've just managed to move to basically 3 different cities to go and know nobody and have no necessarily business out there. It's just my personality. When I was living in Boston, I had this great life. I had this awesome apartment. I was super happy. No, I'm gonna take that back. I don't think I was super happy. I was just kind of figuring out where my career was going, and I loved the apartment and I had awesome friends there, but I was just waking up every day and I was like, this just isn't enough. It isn't enough. And so that's why I moved to LA, because I wanted to take the next step and get out of my comfort zone. And when I say it's not enough, it wasn't that it wasn't enough, it just wasn't enough for me at the time. I just felt like I was gonna limit myself if I stayed in Boston. So I forced myself to go, and I started going out a lot and networking with people, and I have business cards and I was handing them out to everyone. And I think that as you get older, you become wiser and more confident, and because of that, you just start not really caring what people think. But the thing about LA is that everyone's there to become famous. Like, everyone's there to become famous, whether they're trust fund kids, whether they're kids of celebrities, like whatever, everyone's there for the same reason. And it's frustrating as somebody who like did not move out there to be famous. I moved out there just to see if I could get any new opportunities that would bring me up in my career. It's different for me, and it's been difficult for me to adjust to making friends, but I have luckily now over the last year made a really solid group of friends, and I'm so happy about that, because I mean, moving somewhere where you have no friends, you have no family, it sucks. And I did move out there with Gabe, and he was gonna stay with me, and then he decided to come back to Connecticut because it's just not an easy place. It's very fake, but in terms of the opportunity, it's all in LA. So I've had to settle, and I understand that. But my goal over the next year is to have a place, take my place back in Boston that I was subletting, and also have a place in LA. Personal things. My long-term goal, I envision myself as being like an Ellen or an Oprah. I would like to have a show similar to Ellen's. I've always wanted to have some type of show, and I also think Ellen is so powerful with how much she impacts people, and I just feel like I really kind of consider myself to be similar to her. Dating. I don't really date. I'm a firm believer that things happen for a reason. I haven't really met the right person. Somebody tweeted me that the other day. Is it just that I'm not dating, or like what? I try and keep certain parts of my life private, and dating for me is private if I was seeing somebody. I'm not, but if I was, I would keep that private probably. And I mean, I like certain guys, and then I don't know what happens, like I'm traveling or whatever, but I mean, I definitely have like a type for everybody that I've ever liked. I just at the moment haven't met the right person. So yeah, I just think that everything happens for a reason. If I meet somebody, I do, and if I don't right now, my career is my life. So if I was gonna date somebody, they'd need to realize that my career comes first. How do you start getting out there and speaking at different things? I get that question a lot. You know, when it comes to speaking engagements, when it comes to colleges, it's been a really interesting path for me right now to have gone down because of the fact that I didn't go to college. So I really do truly walk away from talks learning stuff from just other students about what they're dealing with. And that for me is best for my career, because that's what I wanna know. I wanna know what young people are dealing with. It's a mix of both. I think that I've gotten myself to a position where I have enough experience, where I am quite educated and qualified to be talking to young people about entrepreneurship and branding and just being an expert in this field. But not saying that because like, oh, I'm great. I'm saying that because, again, like I started from the bottom. So when I say that, I'm saying it because if you're just like you just started at whatever type of speaking job at like a YMCA, or like you just started a blog, I mean, realistically, I don't think that you're qualified enough if you want to start speaking, because you don't have the experience. And if you're gonna go out and you're gonna teach people something, you need to be so experienced in your field. And that's something that I've done since I was 12. That's what I've done over the past 7 years when it comes to my company. And though I don't have a million Instagram followers, like I've been on a lot of press things that a lot of other people who have millions of followers haven't been on. Like I've been on Forbes, I've been on CNN, I've been on NBC. So when people are looking me up, that's what they're looking at. So I would say you just want to start small. Start speaking at your high school. Like ask one of your teachers to go into a class, start a little like PowerPoint. It's evolved so much. The first, especially Mint, my nonprofit, the first Mint talk that I ever did was so bad. I remember walking away from it and I was just like, I can't do this. And the teachers were really mad. Like they thought it was too edgy. It was really intense. And now that I've switched a little bit, I still have the nonprofit, but I've been talking a lot more about entrepreneurship. I was even told yesterday, like I went into Rutgers and I had spoken at Rutgers in April, and now I went back and it's November, and the professor said to me, you've completely changed as a person over that period of time. And I really have. I have a confidence about me now because I've done so many of them, especially these talks. So whether I'm getting approached, whether I email people, it's a little bit 50-50, but it's really easy now for me to get my foot in the door with people because it's kind of like a domino effect. If somebody wants you, other people want you. So yeah, I would just say start small, don't get frustrated, and just put yourself out there. If you don't know what to do, dip your toe into everything, get those internships. That's what I did. Start a LinkedIn profile, just do whatever you can to really set yourself apart from somebody else. And also, you have to go out and learn things. You have to experience life, and by doing that you'll find out more about yourself and you'll really find what you're good at. And then if you want to start speaking at colleges and stuff, they'll start approaching you about that. A question I also get asked often about is that word hustle, like drive. You either have the hustle, you either have the drive or you don't. I think everybody has it in them. I'm so overly passionate about my job, my career, and what I'm trying to do. And because of that, I wake up every day and I know my purpose, even on days that are really difficult. So if you haven't found that hustle or drive in you, you just haven't found your purpose. So dip your toes into everything, do different things, experiment with different things, meet different people, make business cards. Even if you don't have a business, you don't need business cards. You never know who you're gonna be in an elevator with, and you're gonna wanna say something to them and give them your business card. And that automatically right there sets you apart from everyone else just by having a business card in your hand, just with your name and your phone number and whatever title you want. And so that would be my best piece of advice. I think I forgot the question that I asked myself. But yeah, and then if you really don't know what you want to do, same thing. Like if you're torn between different things, try them all out and one of them will click. And if it doesn't, then start fresh. Like when I first started, I was doing freelance writing, and then I was working in PR and different internships, and I even tried sales, and I hated all of them, and I either got myself fired or I quit just because I knew I couldn't work for other people. And that's what I learned through all of those. Even though they all to me sucked, all of those internships, I really did learn something about myself from all of them, and that just comes with getting experience and learning something new. Obviously started off doing different internships and stuff. I've never done anything corporate, so I do get asked a lot about what that experience has been like for me. I have never probably made a better decision than to sign with Disney. They are and have been so supportive, so empowering, and excited about this show. And I've really learned that you really just need one yes to kind of set your career apart and really set your career, like make your career into something. It might take some people 6-7 years like it took me. It might take some people 67 years. It might take people 6 days or 6 hours. But you really do want to build a brand with longevity. So even though it is frustrating sometimes that I don't have 1 million followers, so like I lose out on opportunities because of that, or I'm not taken seriously, you just gotta really stay focused. You can't compare yourself to other people. There's a lot of noise out there, and stay focused on yourself and your goals. And if you do, then you won't get caught up in the other stuff out there, because nothing really matters besides your friends, your family, and whatever career path you're pursuing. So just keep that in the back of your mind and stay really passionate and confident in yourself. And if you have days where you lose confidence, look up other people's stories. Like look up my story, look up any top CEO or entrepreneur story, because you'll see that it's so much up and down, it's so much trial and error. And the more you can get adjusted to it, and the more you can start to respect the rejection, the better it'll be. So I hope that helps. I hope that answers some Q&A about me and my life. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Make sure to check out the bio below to see what the summit is gonna be like, as well as what my social media is, so you can follow that and keep up to date with everything going on. Thank you guys so much for the support all the time. For those of you who are watching this who I've met at one of these talks that I've done, you're amazing, all of you, and so inspiring and so confident and unique, and I love this part of my career. Mwah! All right guys, I gotta go catch my flight back to LA, so I'll talk to you soon. Bye.